Hey, rolling audio. Do a quick clap.
Everybody clap.
We got it
all right, now we're good. My name's Craig DeMartino, and I live in Loveland, Colorado, which is kind of on the front range of Colorado. I am a professional climber. I've been a climber for about 31 years, and it's kind of been through a lot of different iterations of that, but ended up coming back to it after getting hurt in 2002, and that kind of changed my whole perspective on climbing. Climbing is very simple. You can do it with as few things as a pair of shoes and a chalk bag, so I love the simplicity of that. And I climb a lot with my wife. She's my usual partner. We met in a climbing gym, and so it's like this really cool relationship for her and I as well. So she's always been my best friend, so you're basically going climbing with your best friend, but you're in these amazing settings. When I first started climbing, professional climbers were a very small group of people, right? So it wasn't something that you could say, oh, I'm gonna go do that. And then oddly enough, I got hurt in 2002. I got accidentally dropped 100 feet. And that resulted in me, just a long list of injuries, fused back and neck and loss of my right leg and all this chronic pain and chronic issues of things. And I kind of decided I was gonna go back to climbing. And that was why I amputated my leg, because my leg in the way it was, I couldn't really climb anymore. So I thought, okay, if I amputate, I can then go back to climbing. And so that kind of, up till that point, I was just a climber who tried hard and did well and was okay. But like that is what kind of delineated me from other people. And I think that was what I learned, was that if you were going to be a pro climber, you had to have something that made you different, that made you stand out. Because if you just climb hard routes, you're only going to do that for a short amount of time. This was something that I realized people wanted to hear about, and why did I go back to climbing, and what did I still see in it after getting so hurt by it. And so that kind of morphed into what I am today, which is this adaptive climber that then I go out and share my story with other folks. I share why, even though getting hurt, I still love to climb. So I didn't want that thing that I loved to be taken away from me. I wanted to make that decision. And then if I didn't want to climb after that, that's fine, but I wanted to be able to make that decision. I think the first time that I tied back in, I was terrified when I went back to climbing, because I was certain I was going to get hurt again. And that's the biggest thing, is I just didn't want to get hurt again. And so I went back kind of timidly, but as soon as I started to climb again with Cindy, everything about it, I remembered and loved. I loved the way the rock felt. I loved being outside. I loved hearing wind in the trees. I loved seeing, the crows and ravens kind of circling the cliff. All those things kind of get back in your head, and you realize, oh, I just love the whole package. It's not just the climbing of a route, it's just the whole package that it comes in. And so I started to spend more time outside, and I would maybe climb one route in a day, but then I would just be immersed in that scene again, and I loved that. I loved being with my friends outside and being next to a cliff, and I never get tired of that. That kind of morphed into these clinics where I kind of take anyone with a physical disability, veteran, civilian, and just introduce them to climbing. So starting in a gym like this, show them the movement, show them how we tie into the ropes, how the ropes all work, and then transitioning them to outside. And so being able to give like that whole lifestyle to them, where maybe they'll climb once, maybe twice a week, or maybe once a month, but they're still immersed in this community and this culture that is incredibly supportive, and they're able to channel something instead of like, drinking, drugs, whatever, into something very positive. So climbing it's great for your head, it's great for your body, so they get this whole health package as well. So my website is craigdemartino.com, and the nonprofit I work with is Adaptive Adventures, and they can find a lot of resources for just different disability things and what they can be doing and different sports they can get involved in. I started wearing a groove ring about a year ago. I actually bought it online. I couldn't fit my ring on my finger anymore because of my knuckles. Just from climbing, you end up with these really nice fashion hands. But a groove ring is flexible, and I could slide it onto my knuckle, and it fit really well. So I started wearing it, ended up reaching out to them online. I said, hey, I really love your products, and I'd love to just kind of help you guys out if we can. So we ended up kind of wearing them all the time, and then that kind of morphed into just this fun relationship. They get the whole active lifestyle thing. I think a lot of people kind of say, yeah, our products will help you do that, but this one actually does. If I'm climbing and want to keep it on, I can. If I want to take it off, I can. And Groove understands that. So the stuff is made to kind of get beat up and still kind of stick around. I've been wearing the same wedding ring now for probably that whole year, and it still looks the same exactly as it did the first day.